studios were super nice.
Oh, really?
But you have a lot of the auxiliary ones that were barely. This rivals some of those. So, so what are you guys doing?
Well, we have this podcast set up in our main space out in the big giant room where there's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
It just does not work at all.
So before I built a studio in my house, my older house, I literally would go in the closet.
Oh, really?
And the smaller, the tighter the spaces. I've got a friend of mine, Larry Weir, who's the voice of Eastern Washington. He's got a big old apartment complex, but he's got a little mixer board and his microphone, and he just sincerely puts a sheet up over his head and does all of his commercials with a sheet over his head because it blocked out all the sound. So,
oh, wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. See, the other thing you can do, and again, you still need a smaller space, but if you've got a smaller space, you can put, these deadening panels. There are a lot of studios that all they have is just foam, the foam egg carton kind of panels that are up.
Oh, so kind of like this 3D model.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, this is.
Those are super high tech ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could even get that.
That's expensive, isn't it?
In theory, no, actually.
No?
When you just look at how this is so perfect, people would look at that and go, "What is that?" But that's the perfect sound room.
Oh.
Yeah, this material, that stuff, I think, just because of the thickness of it, that's going to be a little more pricey. But what you could also do is, instead of deadening the whole room, you just do it kind of like what we have in here. You just do sections. And so you put something in the middle of each wall and on top, and then as you're kind of broadcasting or doing your shows, you can
kind of like adjust them.
Yeah, see how much echo, you see how much more you want to add over time. Or so really, if you put just a section on each wall and on top, you'd be amazed at what that would do.
Oh, wow.
And then you just add to it as you go along.
Okay.
Obviously, if you had the capability to do that entire thing, now, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the right idea. I mean, that's as dead as you can get in terms of having no echo, no, yeah. Is this just a mock-up, or is this what does your space look like? Do you have a photo of where you guys are at?
This is kind of what it looks like, only we have a giant, kind of like a cargo container, what you'd see on ports, right here, and some of the Movement Point Academy students are going to create that.
That's more of like a conference space for the teachers to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conference space, and over here we have a video editing greenhouse.
Okay.
That really isn't
weird.
being used for video editing.
Interesting. I want to come look at your space, and then I've got some engineer friends of mine. I'm wondering what might just be sitting in their storage closets. Maybe they've got some sound deadening material. I don't think they've got, a lot of places don't have boards like this.
No.
Really all this is I mean, it's not much more than just a rubber that's wrapped.
Really?
It's just yeah, it's not much to it. It's almost like a pinup board. You maybe put pins in. Yeah.
Huh.
It's not much. It's just something different.
Nice.
What you have in most radio studios, it's sound deadening carpet.
Oh, really?
They literally
carpet.
Oh yeah, we have a couple like square ones. Two of them like hanging up on like a ledge.
Yeah.
And then two, like a couple students are using it like this, like
I think it's
almost
more,
like an upside down L.
It's not really for soundproof. It's just more of for style.
Yeah.
You almost need to take, if
That's
you're
what
going to
they're
do
using it
carpet,
for.
you got to carpet everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sound bounces off everything. It's just, boy.
Yeah.
Now, would we have to carpet this table or something?
Nope.
No?
You wouldn't have to, unless it depends on what you're going to do with your mics. You just have mics that stand like this, or are they on mounts?
We have, they're on mounts. Like, they just hang down.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have to at all.
Okay.
There are a couple of studios I've been in when you get the guests that like to move it around a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, but there are rubber tops you can put those on. Most studios have they're countertops. It's a little different than this, but you wouldn't have to do anything on top of the table at all.
Okay.
Gotcha.
The only unfortunate part is when if you've got people that are setting down a cup or something like that, it goes through even the microphone stands. So it's just
really,
Yeah.
That's the table will pick up everything.
Yeah.
But no.
Now, what about the ground? Do we need to put carpet there? Because
Every studio I've been in has had carpet. I still think if you're looking just simply for sound quality, you don't have to.
No?
You don't have to at all.
Okay.
You're just looking at trying to create an area that doesn't have a lot of extraneous noise, a lot of the echo, getting rid of the echo, stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't worry about the expensive carpet. Obviously nice, but
because that's what our setup really looks like right now.
That is
only less
iMac.
wires right now.
It is really nice. So that's where this needs to go. So how this began was this was an actual radio station, had an FM signal. It was a
Really?
radio station for the longest time. Then we lost the signal maybe 10 years ago, wherever it was.
Aw.
So now we've just gone internet only. And I only took this over about 2 years ago. I just decided to get out of radio and TV. My job here got too intense. I'm the associate athletic director.
Oh, really?
So I broadcast all of our games. I'm on the road meeting with donors all the time. I'm also a softball coach, so it just got busy. So I totally made the switch here and then still wanted to be in radio. But when I first got here, they just didn't have anything. And that
What
set
do
up
you mean
there,
by anything?
it was a rat's nest. They didn't
Pretty
have
much
an
a blank
idea.
canvas?
It was. It really was. So, and
That's actually the best place to work
Mhm.
on, is a
Mhm.
blank canvas.
what
At
you
least
guys
you
have
have a
right there
fresh
is
start.
unbelievable. It's it's quality.
Yeah, but
You don't have a mixer board though. Are
mixer
those
board?
just mic preamps there? So does that just run
that
your
is
microphone?
for headphones. That's
For the
mixer
mics.
board. Yeah.
But you
that's
don't
the
have,
mics.
and I guess you wouldn't need to because you're not jocking music or running
mean-
sound effects or you're not. So we've got our microphones run through a board like that, and then same concept. This is just their janky version because these are cheap headphones.
I mean, we do have a mixer board. It's just that it's mostly used by the teachers to
Mhm.
announce what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're in this giant room and everybody's
Mhm.
talking over each other.
And
So it's literally
and
a
it gets
battle
really,
for,
really loud.
for who's the loudest.
So when I broadcast games now, I just have 16-channel mixer board with a USB out on it, and everything from it runs directly into my computer. And so I broadcast games actually through Skype now.
Really?
It's so clear. It's so nice. So
I thought Skype was only used through just calls.
yeah, it's not video only. Yeah, I'm calling the station, calling the radio station.
Okay.
They're answering through Skype, and it's just a crystal quality sound. So now I'm not having to spend. There are other units called ISDN units or tie line units that you've got one unit in the broadcast station, the other unit with who's ever in the field, and they talk to each other, and it sounds, no matter where you're at, it sounds like you're in studio. But those run about $3,000 to $5,000 a piece, and you have to have both ends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah. So, and radio stations, if you happen to use the phone, it's long distance when you go on the road.
Yeah.
So Skype is free. So the radio station, we just Skype together. It's unbelievable audio, and then the station just takes it right off the computer. So
That's right now we don't actually have the box or anything.
Okay.
We just have the table right now.
Right.
And all of this.
Yeah, just the table and the setup.
You'll be amazed by that if that happened.
Mhm.
You wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
there's
add another wall and a door.
yeah,
and we're
just
good.
the front and the
Yeah.
door.
You really would like to have it at the end of the day completely closed off. You
Yeah.
want it to be a box. That's why, I mean, the smaller the studios, the better. The big studios.
Yeah.
My very first station I was at was called, wasn't my first, probably my first radio station, my first music station. It's up on the South Hill, and it was called KGA or KEZE. And back in the days when it was first built, it was built so large because they brought the bands in to play. It was a live studio, but when you got to more traditional terrestrial radio this day and age, where you didn't need the bands, the studio became too big. So to get the studios as small as possible, but you want it to have big enough so you can
Fit
have
multiple
guests
people
and
in
have
there.
people, right?
Yeah.
So that becomes your trick.
Another situation that we have is ventilation.
Yeah.
We don't want our guests or anybody to die in there.
Obviously, with it open like that, you're completely good.
Yeah.
And other than that, sincerely, you could even run vents out of the top of that, and
Okay.
it's not gonna change your sound. Like, that is as dead as the sound would get.
Oh, really?
Right, just like that.
And what if you just had just a wall with a door cut out, just to like kind of walk in?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're thinking about it, like, if we cut a hole on the top or on the sides, like, wouldn't the sound from the outside pick up?
No, yes. So that's true. If you had some people that were walking around, they were being loud outside, something along those lines. But if you just put a true vent, even just something as small as that.
Yeah.
The problem is, for there, that's going to the outside. For us, it's going into the ventilation system. So
Right.
That's our problem. Because everything's out here.
Yeah. I would still put just a couple of air vents in there.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to build it exactly like that,
Yeah.
if that's your exact concept, I'd still put a couple of vents in there.
Okay.
Unless you're going to leave it open and because I also see branding opportunities. I see you being able to put, your logos or, show schedules or on-air lights. I see.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
I
of
was
fun
thinking
things.
of the on-air light or a recording light,
Mhm.
like the rec, and then like a dot there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you wouldn't even necessarily need an on-air light. So our on-air lights are activated by touching our microphones.
Oh, really?
When the mic goes on, it goes on. Mic goes off, it goes off.
Yeah.
And which is really dumb about this studio is they've got them inside, but they need to be outside as well because people just open the door and come walking in.
Oh yeah,
So when
that's also a problem too.
So we don't have an engineer here, so it's not like I can just call our engineer. So when I told them to put an on-air light in, they did, but they put it inside here. So I need it outside. The other thing you
Right.
could easily do, because maybe you don't need that much technology. It's just your light wired right to a switch. So when you go in for the day, you just flip the switch and the light goes on.
Oh,
And that lets
yeah.
everybody know that you're in studio. And kind of the rule of thumb is when the on-air light's on, nobody comes in. So that lets.
Nobody comes
Yeah,
in.
we have a system called Little Bits. Have you ever heard of them?
Mm-mm.
They're these little electronic devices that are separate from each other, but you can put them together to create amazing things.
And they're kind of like magnets.
Yeah, they have magnets on the side to connect them together.
Hmm.
So there's no real wiring or coding that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. So what do you guys broadcast? What are your podcasts about?
Last year our teachers, Matt and John, created the River Point Academy podcast, which I don't think they do anymore.
Okay.
I was originally supposed to take over
This year?
at the end of last year and all of this year.
Huh.
But I'm kind of like one of those people where it's like, quality is better.
Yeah, quality is really great.
The people on the outside can wait.
Yep.
So I thought of like creating a podcast room and just ran it through Matt and John.
Yep.
They loved it.
What else have you looked at other places in your facility? Are there closets that it sounds odd, but are there areas that aren't being used or that are already there that?
Normally, Matt's office isn't being used, but it has its own recording system, and it's mostly for other people.
For like individual
Yeah.
recordings.
And then there's John's office, who there's always people in there, and it's
Right.
pretty much everybody else's.
Yep.
And then there's the principals where nobody goes in there, and everybody uses those offices. So
And I would assume if you took something like this concept here, and I don't know what types of budgets or what people have going, but if you took something like this and you went to see Ziggy's, and
Ziggy's?
Oh, yeah.
Ziggy's,
Ziggy's,
built,
Ziggy's.
yeah, Vern Ziegler over at Ziegler Building, or any just building store, and you explain what you guys were about, what you did, what you need, they look at this and I wouldn't assume that they would see very much in the way of costs or labor involved in that, and somebody that knew what they were doing could knock that out fairly quickly. And I think even in radio today, it's hard to, budgets aren't that big, so it's hard to, everybody wants the nice glitzy glamorous things, but you can't have the state of the art stuff because it's just too expensive. So I think when you're looking at trying to be budget conscious, I would think there'd be somebody out there that would have materials that they would donate for you.
Yeah. I mean, I do believe that we already have the planks of wood at River Point Academy.
Yeah, I think
in the back.
Well, I think they took that apart. I think, like that giant box that a couple people made last year. I think that was taken apart.
But you can hear,
we could, like, keep it back, put it back together.
Maybe.
So you can understand that all of this room, it just was a storage closet basically. We're lucky enough to have a little bit of a window, but we don't have near that type of soundproofing, and you can hear how dead this room kind of is.
Yeah.
And really, you can even hear the people coming in and out. If you listen closely, you're hearing the doors open and close.
Yeah.
We actually do. I want this area here, this next room, to become a production studio. See, our problem here is everybody comes on and you do your show live, or you can record it. But this is where you also make all your mistakes. You don't have a chance to go practice anymore. So I want to create an area where you can go and practice. Where you can kind of do dry runs. You can get used to the microphone, get used to the system. Instead, we have most people who are walking on here, going on the air for the first time, that don't know how to project into a microphone. That don't, they try to be themselves and they're really tentative, and they're afraid to talk into a mic, and there's nowhere to go practice. So I'm trying to create an area where they can go and practice. But you can hear how it even just dead this sounds.
Yeah.
And it's just by putting up a few of these things. And kind of our colors, kind of brands it a little bit.
Yeah.
White, red,
so.
black.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very nice.
It's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I've got an engineer friend of mine from iHeartRadio who right now is on his own in his house, kind of redesigning how all of this is going to be plugged in. He's going to make this better, because I think if students left this and went to a real radio station, they would understand how to maybe work a little bit of a board, and understand how to work a mic, but it's not truly the same. It's not everything's applicable to what today's radio is, but
yeah, those places are more advanced than what is in this space here.
Everything is touch screens with a different system, and so. But in terms of just podcasting, which by the way is the way everything continues to go, I think being able to create a cool podcast studio, learning how to podcast correctly, and then how to market and brand that's fun. I'm glad you guys are doing that. I didn't get that chance.
When we first introduced this idea to everybody at River Point Academy, no one was on board. Nobody really understands how important this is.
It's bigger than just the podcast concept. It's if you're also bringing in a marketing of a product, branding, like businesses.
They could advertise their own projects.
Yeah. It's hey, just even gaining computer skills.
Yeah. The
idea of hooking up to a computer, broadcasting over it, and then getting people to go to that site and watch that.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into that, and I think you come out of there with any sort of you come out of there with computer knowledge, which is that's where everything is not only going, it's already there. There are a lot of us that are I'm behind the times, man. So yeah. You guys get that set up, or if you need help setting it up, I'd love to come over and take a look at it, or help you get help with ideas, or maybe get a few people that might be helpful.
That would be awesome.
That would be nice. Yeah, because Glenn and Matt wanted to also talk to you. Okay. Glenn mostly, wasn't it?
Yeah, Glenn was mostly. Well, he was kind of like wanting to introduce himself, kind of talk for a couple of minutes, and then kind of look around. So, yeah.
Yeah, not a problem.
Alright.
Yeah, and if you guys are ever around and want to come, see any games, I still fill in a little bit on SWX. I do a lot of sports on TV, sports and cage, SWX and KHQ.
Okay.
I still do fill in as a sports anchor for them. I still broadcast a lot of the Indians and the Chiefs games, and I just don't. I'll fill in on radio now and then, but I don't do a lot anymore. But in terms of just being on campus, all of our football games, all of our basketball games, if you guys are around and want to come to a game and watch, or put the headsets on and watch me do a game, whether you want to be a sports broadcaster or not, if you're interested in truly podcasting and radio, just hearing how people do radio it could be helpful. So I love teaching. So
it'd be a really great experience too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly could anytime.
So other than broadcasting news, do you also broadcast assignments that where students have to do, or
yeah? So in terms of this class in itself, what they do, the types of shows, is that what you're kind of alluding to?
Yeah, maybe if you want to go check out maybe a theater event. I don't even know if Whitworth does theater.
Sure do.
Oh, they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For this specific class, it's a 1-credit course, and I don't try to make it difficult on anybody because school's hard enough here. All the papers they have to write, all the things they have to do. So really, it's simply show up, design a show. Let me know what type of show you want to do. When nobody's on, we run different types of music. In the morning, it's more maybe classical, because the thought is people are in school. Maybe a lot of the adults would be listening. So it's more kind of classical background music. Throughout the day, it'll change a little bit. Right now, it's more, and it's a lot of indie music.
Indie music?
A lot of independent stuff, not really label driven. At night, it gets more, especially maybe after 6 or 7 into the early morning hours, it's more about what the kids would want to hear in their dorms.
Yeah.
And then every
like
student.
Hip hop and rock and roll. And
exactly.
All that.
Yep. Maybe even more grunge. I don't know. I don't really listen that late.
I don't listen to that either.
But the students themselves have an opportunity of what format they want to do. If they want to have a sports talk show, they just want to have a talk show. They want to do folk music. Maybe they just want to introduce a brand of music from their country. We've got some foreign students that just want to do foreign. We allow them to do any type of format show that they want to do. Okay. And then they have part of their projects initially design the show and then come up with a poster. So that's come up with your brand, your logo, promote your show. We create posters that they put around campus. So it gives them an idea of how to kind of market their show. And then they all have to create Facebook pages for their show and then and really it's not that a ton of people are going to be listening or that a ton of people are going to see their posters and go listen to their show. It just gives them an idea of what it's like to market and promote. And I really don't follow up with each. And there are some that want to do air checks and they want feedback on how they deliver their show. There are others that just want to come in here and have fun. And we let it be very open because, again, it's only 1 credit. It's an overload course. And then there are some that just want to come and be the producers. They want to line up interviews. They want to do the imaging. They want to do all the bumper music and the imaging and the jingles and the sweeps that go inside producing the show. There's some that just want to do the imaging of a show. So we allow them just to do the imaging and they get credit. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Or, fun. As you alluded to, the theater or at events for those that just want to do promotions and marketing. They just want to show up at a basketball game and have a Whitworth FM shirt on. It just gives them an idea of what it's like to go and be a street team member at a real radio station. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of things that if you guys are doing a podcast, you'll want to be doing. Obviously, promoting to your friends and family is great, but then how do you get other people to listen beyond just the people you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's our next challenge after this.
Yeah. Trying to get stuff promoted out there so that people can see it and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Well, you guys have my number, so anytime. If you want me to come down, if you just want to pick my brain, you can always call. I'm not the smartest guy, but I can find people who are smart.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, are these engineers Whitworth, or are they in another business?
Yeah, they're full-time engineers for radio companies. So
Okay.
one is Mapleton up on the South Hill. When I first came to Spokane, it was called Citadel Communications, and that was my building for about 12 years. Loved it. And then Clear Channel, which is now called iHeart Media. My other friend is the main engineer there, and he's really, really good. He's my friend that I buy him some pizzas every now and then to come look at this. So, you know, because again, we're on tight budgets here as well.
Oh yeah.
So you'll always just try to figure out how to get things done through friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Anything else, Justin?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to end up doing? Or have you figured that out yet? Which is the worst question to ask anybody.
Yeah.
That's something we always talk to students here. What I wanted to do when I was 15 or even 20 or even 25 is not what I'm doing at 43. So. Yeah, but do you have an idea? Where's your love right now?
Right now, just getting work done at school.
Yeah,
that's
just
my
getting work done.
What year are you?
Senior.
Both seniors.
Okay. So this project, is this sort of some sort of a legacy you want to leave there? Something you want to try to build, and then as you move on, it's something that maybe somebody else can do, or?
A little bit.
Or is it just something you want to do for yourself?
Oh, it totally is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Not only a legacy, but something that
everyone
can
can
use.
use. Yeah.
Except the people who destroy it.
Yeah, you'd have to have rules like slapped onto the front of it, like stating what you can and cannot do in there.
Yep.
Even though nobody will follow it.
Yeah.
It's like if you are caught, you will be disciplined.
Where are my manuals at? So we have a little bit of a structure here. That's not it.
The stream is down.
Yeah, we've got the old crap book. We've got the if things go wrong, where do I go book. We used to keep everything online, but I hate that because you got to get online. So we actually keep a binder in here typically that all the do's and don'ts, and then when you run into problems, what it is. We created our hierarchical structure in here with a general manager, a music director, a promotions team. Even though in the real world there really aren't general managers anymore, they're called operations manager, and then who really oversees all the programming, and then you've got the market manager, which oversees all of the sales department.
Okay.
So we don't really have general managers anymore, but just for the sake of argument here, we have a general manager. So I've got a student who runs this, and I'm his advisor, and so really I allow him to do whatever he wants to do.
So a student runs this.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And I allow him to completely run it, even when I see him doing things that aren't good. I allow them to run it,
but
understand the problems.
Point it out,
and
if he chooses not.
So when they crash and burn, then we just kind of rebuild it. And so every semester this kind of changes here.
Oh, wow.
We try to keep the same general manager all year long.
Okay.
But this is completely student run. So when it's off the air and I walk in and it's off the air, I don't put it back on the air. I call the general manager, or I just wait to see how long it's on the air. I make them monitor it and really work it, because in the real world, I ran 14 stations at one time.
Oh.
My phone's ringing off the hook when a station goes off the air. An employee couldn't show up. We had a problem with a remote sales problem with this program. So, yeah, that's the fun here is it's completely student ran. And I just heard kind of a up-tempo hip-hop song going into a classical song. And now we're into classical. Oh, we actually are at the top of an hour. Maybe we switched into a new format. But...
well, nice classical music.
Yeah. Which personally, when you're sitting in your office and you're just trying to get ready for your next, when the teachers are sitting in,
it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's
nice
background.
to listen to some soothing music beforehand, so you're not really all stressed out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
The other thing that I do, if you ever remember, the third Tuesday of every month, it used to be every Wednesday, but now we've really confused it. The third Tuesday of every month over at McLean's Pizza, which is right over here in the Whitworth Square, right across the street. It's a great pizzeria place, but third Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock, I do live radio and TV broadcast over there. We have all of our coaches. We have athletes that come in, and I do an hour long of just winging it, talking with coaches,
just winging it.
But it's just an element that you guys could think about adding to your podcast, and you could easily do it with your current computer, but we bring in cameras, so we stream it live, video stream it live, and it's on the radio live, and it's also being recorded for playback later. But if you guys ever want to come and watch and see how that's put together and how we do that, it's the other element of a podcast. Why does it only have to be audio?
Yeah.
So
it should also be visual too.
Yep. Just something else to think about.
Huh.
So we've really taken that here and have created, and it's great for the kids because not everybody lives around here, and so their moms and dads are able to see them, doing the show, if they're from California or Portland, wherever. So we have the video component to the audio component. It used to be where we also had webcams in all of our studios, so people could tune in and watch you do a show. It's not always
as easy or fun to do.
You don't always look as good as you think you're looking as well too. And in between songs, what are you doing? Picking your nose. So a lot of studios have taken the webcams out. But for a podcast, I could see how you could do. Periscope is becoming huge. Periscope's becoming huge. It's the Periscope app. You could right now get on Periscope and broadcast us having this meeting.
Oh wow!
And all of your viewers, your users. And
so Periscope is a broadcast.
Periscope is a video broadcasting app, really right through your phone, and it's really connected to Twitter. So as soon as you get on, you start to broadcast. Twitter makes a note. It sends out to all your followers that, hey, the show's on. There are people that just sit in their living rooms and broadcast themselves talking about nothing, but there are also
just
people
random
that use
topics.
Oh wow! Yeah. Sitting there drinking, doing nothing. Okay, I'm sitting in my underwear drinking. Some of them are ridiculously stupid, but you can't manage the content. You just hopefully have people that provide quality content. But the Periscope app is, bet you I could find somebody on it right now and give you an idea.
I may have to download this.
Oh, it's awesome.
Probably
I do it just for my own entertainment purposes.
Is it free or do you have to
totally
pay for
free.
it? Awesome.
Hi. Why do I not see you? Oh, it's right in front of me. That's why I didn't see you. So if I were to go do it, sometimes the people who are podcasting are up. I really go through Twitter and it'll show me. So right now, this is where news is using it. We just had some shootings take place in San Bernardino. So now news agencies immediately go on to Periscope and start broadcasting.
Oh, nice.
So
San Bernardino.
Yeah, if I go to, I'll just go pick her right now. I have no idea. Oh wait, she's not on. So I can go and see who's broadcasting where. There's apparently 7 people right there. I'll just pick her up for some dumb reason and see what she's broadcasting. She's broadcasting her dog right now. She's got 47 people watching her broadcast her dog.
Come here,
Oh, that's
boy.
cool.
Say hi. Okay. Anyway, that's my favorite of my aunt's dogs.
Entertainment.
Huh.
And then when people are liking her and stuff, they can start commenting. Duh. Hearts will start popping up for all the people that are watching her. Look at that. She's up to 56 in just those few seconds.
Wow.
That's
And
so
then
cool.
once this is done, it captures it for, I think, you can set it for 24 hours or a week, and it'll stay there for people to go and rewatch.
Oh wow.
Huh.
So it could be completely random, ridiculous stuff, or, as you just saw, actual news
The
agency.
hearts.
There's a heart.
Yeah.
And you can tap the hearts and
Or I will Skype with you, either way,
Or
whichever
talk to
easy for
them,
you.
or-
And I'll sing you whichever song you want. You can ask me questions.
so it's really kind of ridiculous.
That is
That's so
actually
cool.
very interesting.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Anybody can become a reporter. Anybody can just broadcast their life. Anybody can. So, yeah. And for me, I'm doing it for entertainment purposes. But as you can see, man, when something massive happens, you can start following news agencies or people who are right there doing it. Obviously, she's showing nothing right now.
High quality though.
Yeah, that's a really quality photo. I mean,
These
Video
are
right there.
all on people's phones. Now you can, I'm sure, take an actual camera and
Or a
make it
tablet.
external. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Nice foot.
Yeah.
High quality foot
But-
there.
and then when I'm on Twitter, it lets me know, like there's a couple of pastors that I really like. There's a couple of sports guys that I really like. Jimmy V, there's a couple of coaches and broadcasters out there that when they're doing stuff, they're sitting in the hotels. They're, oh, Michael Jordan just walked in. Let's get on real quick. So there are a couple of guys that I follow all the time. And when that happens, Twitter notifies me that, Steve is on Periscope broadcasting now. So, yeah.
That's so cool.
So the Paris.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to use that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so.
All right.
And you know what? And then you just put up with it. Because there are going to be people that sit there and they'll comment. And the comments don't stay up very long.
No.
They just fly by. But everybody on everything that I do, even when I'm calling a game, I'll be broadcasting a game and sometimes Periscope it for a little bit. And you get people that say how much you suck. How much? I don't care. The people are idiots. They're sitting at their computers. So
there's always going to be those type of people.
Yeah.
Periscope at least is fun to sit back and just watch some nights when on a weekend, and guys will regret it the next day, the stuff that they're doing and why they're broadcasting.
Because they're probably drunk.
Well, there was cops in California recently. A girl decided to Periscope herself driving home completely hammered. And it's all over Twitter. And she is completely hammered. Well, some of those that were watching called the police. They tracked her down, pulled her over. She killed somebody. It was all over the news. She all the way home.
She broadcast.
Hammered.
Oh my God.
So.
It's funny until you hear the part that she killed someone. It was like,
yeah. It's like the first part of it is funny, but when you hear the killing, it's like that
sad.
just.
And then you can set it up also that your preferences could be set to only people that follow you, so you can really control who gets to see it, or you can just open it up for anybody. So.
It's cool.
Nice.
Fun things.
That's awesome.
You Periscope yourself broadcast or building your studio, or then you Periscope yourself with guests.
Yes.
Anyway.
We're definitely.
Fun ideas.
Yeah, you're definitely doing that.
At the very least, it's really fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
When you want to kill some time. So, yeah.
All right.
Nice.
I hope this wasn't a wasted trip for you.
Oh,
No, it was not.
Good.
Yeah. Got away from school. It's not wasted.
No.
Yeah, you can let your instructors know. I love talking radio. I love being around the educational system. So if anything they need, let me know. I'm fairly.
There's my mom. She found the union building. There she goes.
She looking for you?
Probably. I don't know. I told her till.
Like 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30.
She have a phone on her? You want to call her real quick?
I don't even know her cell phone number. Actually, she normally doesn't have a phone on her. So.
Well, awesome. Good deal. I'm glad you guys came by.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to have like a podcast in this room, just spy on all the students that walk by.
And these are the things that they need to do as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
First person to come to the window gets a free shirt.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Shoot it out of a cannon. That's on the roof.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Actually.
That would be so much fun.
Awesome, guys.
All right. I think I'm done recording for now.
All right.
You need the on-air personality is just to be able to have a place to come and chill out.
Oh.
Get away from the madness, just to come have a place to relax. And so these are going to become production computers.
Oh.
They can all just come and sit, even if they just want to come in and study, we don't care. But we're going to create a true area for them to be able to come and do to work.
So this is really just a storage area.
At this second it is. But brought in some refrigerators, brought in some couches. We're going to change. These are really old broadcast boards, although a couple of studios that I know of in Spokane that still use those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably refurbish that.
I bet you it works.
Maybe.
That's so cool.
A lot of production studios still have boards just like that for doing commercials.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah. So imagine, I don't know that I would, if I lived in a dorm, maybe I'd stay in the dorm, but I'd get tired of my roommate and everybody, you have a place to come and sit on the computers, get ready for your shows.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Study for tests and all that.
Exactly. I'd be in here.
Nice.